Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with a Sunday guest. And yes, I don't know if you heard this morning, Todd, but I just did some rough math while I was at my tax guy's shop yesterday. This channel brings $100 million entrepreneurs, investors to the channel. When I added up all the estimated net worth of my entrepreneurs, it's $100 million. I couldn't believe that. So you are part of the family and the $100 million channel. Thank you very much.
Amazing. $100 million channel. I am honored.
Yeah. This is it, man. And we are here to help people. Everybody does 3 topics at a time. You are my Sunday morning guest. So thank you for being a part of this growing channel.
Absolutely.
So the first thing we're going to talk about are 2 critical topics. One, I think everybody, actually both of them, they all get wrong and for different reasons. First and foremost, you are going to hear about why I think a often talked about metric is the worst of the worst. It, in fact, is a number that is often inflated and lied about. And it's an irrelevant number that I would never answer if my bank never asked for it. And that is net worth. I think that is an irrelevant and a often fraught number. And I wish people would stop talking about it. What do you think?
Interesting. I actually haven't really thought through this conversation, so I'm interested to hear why you think that it's such a bad number.
Well, there's a couple of reasons. First and foremost, you don't spend your net worth, right? I've been working my whole life to buy freedom. And that'll be the second thing we talk about, because it's not based on net worth, right? You can't spend net worth. Second, often is one of those numbers that people lie about and/or don't understand that really what net worth is what you would have to fire sale or liquidate things for, right? For example, in good times, people talk about, oh, I have this car and this thing and this house. And when the market goes against you, it goes against you really, really fast. And also, I think if you are kind of following the one rental at a time path, I don't want you to aim at a net worth number. I want you to aim at a cash flow number or yield or how hard your money is working. We're not here trying to build 100 millionaires like we kind of opened this with. It is a result of what happens, but it is not something that I think really speaks the truth, right? Just because you're worth $1 million, I've known people that are worth $1 million go bankrupt because their cash flow dries up. Look at Evergrande. Over in China, one of the property developers who can't sell any units or is having a hard time, they're going to go broke and out of business, not because their net worth isn't $1 trillion. It's because they have no cash flow and the oxygen to the business is shut off. And suddenly those half completed units, suddenly the lands, suddenly the private jets all get liquidated to raise cash and you're dead. So I think net worth is just that. And again, I fell into the trap, right? I want to be a millionaire. No, you don't. I want to have, freedom and time freedom and choices. And that's because of cash flow, not because of net worth. So it's kind of my rant.
Yeah, interesting. And I appreciate your viewpoints on that. Here's what I think. I think that similar to net worth, people can lie about anything, whether it's income, free time, the hot chick they say they're dating, right? Especially like online, you can lie about anything. Sure. I think what can be and also I agree with you that cash flow is more important than your pile of money. For anyone who is confused in the definitions, how net worth is usually defined as everything you own minus everything you owe. So if you own $4 million worth of real estate, but you owe $3 million in mortgages, you have a net worth of $1 million. This can be cash, assets, stocks, whatever, just how much stuff that you own. That's sure. Basically what that worth is. I think that there are some things that are valuable about a net worth. And what I mean by that is I know that, so I'm on a list for off-market real estate deals. Sure. This list requires you to be an accredited investor, which basically means you have a net worth of $1 million or greater, and then an annual income of $250K or more. So in that way, it's useful. But I agree that your goal should be cash flow. I will say this too, though. I personally know of a really hot shot partner at a law firm who makes $800 grand a year. That's their income. and they're going into debt every year because they spend 900 grand. So their net worth is shrinking year after year, going down into debt. So even though cash flow is important, and most important, I will say the most important thing, if you're dumb, you're going to outspend that anyway. It's like my friend who's a personal trainer, he always says, you can't out-train bad eating habits, just like you can't out-earn bad spending habits.
Totally agree. Yeah. And again, I want to talk about a very well-known kind of guru financial guy, David Ramsey. David Ramsey kind of comes to his snowball and debt pay down after suffering a bankruptcy, right? At the time, he had a net worth of 1 million, back when 1 million was 1 million, right?
Yeah.
And let's just run the numbers. He had $4 million real estate portfolio. He had debt of 3 million. So very simple math said Dave Ramsey was a millionaire. However, what was lurking behind the debt was the fact that debt structure was atrocious and stupid and idiotic and whatever you want to say. And I'm sure he would admit it now. It was 90-day debt. 90-day debt because he was flipping real estate. And it worked until it didn't.
Yes.
And again, he had a net worth of $1 million. And guess what? The debt came due. He couldn't fire sell the real estate fast enough. And when the dominoes fell, and he lost it all. I mean, some people would look at that saying, how could he do that? He had $1 million net worth. Well, when the time came to pay, it wasn't liquid and the banks took the property. So again, it is about cash flow. And let's be very clear about cash flow. It's not an $800,000 income. It's all the way down at the bottom. I did this with Millennial Mike, I think yesterday, right? Very simple math. You're a family that makes 100 grand or 800 grand. Let's just say it's 800 grand. First off, you don't take home 800 grand. You take home 600 grand or 550 or whatever. Let's say 600. And then, oh, by the way, you don't get to spend 600. You've already committed house, cars, vacation, boats, entertainment, food, blah, 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 blah. And pretty soon you're left with $7. I know people that made $1 million a year who had nothing left over. I mean, the example we did yesterday with Millennial Mike was you had 99 cents. Every hour you worked, you had a 99 cents that was yours to do whatever you want with. That is horrible. That's why it's cash flow. That's why it's the bottom line. You want freedom? Get that number above your expenses, and the world is your oyster. And that's why I think the variable we should talk about is time. Yeah, that's what we do. Time. We have bought back our time. Right? We didn't want to sign up for the 40 hours for 40 years to live on 40%. We sacrificed. We worked for I think your case 8 years. For me, it was 14 or 15. But now the money that comes in exceeds our wants, needs, and desires. And we have time to do what we want. We can talk every Sunday morning for an hour trying to help people. I couldn't do that if I had a job, right?
Absolutely. No. And I mean, this is really important. So I think, if I need to be fact checked on this, feel free, but I think the average American household income in 2019 was like 50,000 ish. Yeah. I know that COVID threw things off, but that's at least what it was. So like, $50,000 is sort of like what the average household income makes. And last year, I personally made over $1 million net income, like after taxes, after expenses, right? And so if it's true that you can live on 50,000 a year, because most Americans do, what I have done is I have bought myself 20 years, because it takes, if you make 50 grand a year, it takes 20 years to make $1 million, right? I made $1 million in 1 year. I have bought myself 20 years of time if I basically want to live on 50 grand a year. Now, of course, I'm in a very blessed position that I'll make, even more this year and next year and stuff like that. But like, that's how I think about it, is your time freedom. And yeah, I know people who would be considered very wealthy who only make $40,000 a year, but it's because they have it. So they don't actually have to work. It's all passive income. They can go lay on a beach if they want to. And then $40,000 per year rolls in, and their expenses that they spend out is less than that. So their net worth or whatever grows every year, and they never outspend what they earn passively. Yeah, no, I mean, the key to earning time back is to have enough passive or semi-passive income coming in that exceeds your wants, needs, and desires. And let's be very clear. I talk to high school seniors all the time. How many of you can live on $2 grand a year? They all raise their hand because they think $2 grand a year is this awesome number. And I'm like, congratulations. If you can keep that
and you could be done by 25. Think about it. They're 17 or 18 years old. I'm telling them if they can live on $2,000 a month, they can be financially free by 25. Now, most of them, well, all of them are excited by that, but most of them will get in, go to college, get a bunch of student debt, and then get out, think they're bossy because now they make 50 grand. We allow our lifestyle to match our income, vice versa. So it is all about time, folks. And again, if you can really live on $2,000 a month and you're happy, you win. You could really be done in 5 to 7 years. So pretty crazy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I actually recently put together a class talking about, a lot of things, but one of the main components is lifestyle inflation and how to avoid that. And it's probably been one of the key factors in the success that I have had, where your income increases. You can increase your fund, but don't increase it to the same ratio as your income. So like last year, people will think this is crazy. Last year, I went on 9 vacations. I think I spent $50,000 on like fun stuff, right? Fun travel, entertainment, right? Stuff like that. However, that was 1/2 of 1 month of my income last year. So it's not like the same ratios applied, right? So if you currently make $5,000 a month, that'd be like you spending $2,500 for the entire year on your fund, and just keep the ratios the same.
No, absolutely. Again, the other thing for me is if you want something, for me, it takes time, sacrifice. It's not easy, but you can get it, right? We talk about earning financial freedom in 10 years or less, or making work optional. You don't have to stop working. If you love your job, you can keep working. And I want to reiterate one more time. I believe life is about being happy. If you wake up legitimately happy every day doing whatever it is you do, I want to tell you right now, you win. But it's true happiness, true, not lying to yourself and affirmations and all of that. If you are truly happy every day when you wake up and put your foot on the ground, from me to you, you win.
Can I tell you something funny before we wrap up?
Of course.
So the things that make me happiest in life, other than, of course, like my wife, my child that's on the way, I kid you not, have nothing to do with the money that I make. Literally, I am the happiest man on the planet when there's a Papa Murphy's right down the road and they have trivia. And if you get the trivia question right, you get a free pizza. When I get a free pepperoni pizza, I am a 10 out of 10 happy. And like, it doesn't like, it's the money's nice for sure. And the freedom and all that stuff is, I mean, it's amazing, but like, dude, a hot pepperoni pizza and a warm chocolate chip cookie, those 2 things, I am the happiest man in the world.
Hey, know what makes you happy? You've solved the key to life. Brush up on your trivia. How can people find you? Because you're putting out amazing stuff and helping a lot of people. And I believe you just released a course, which I told you had to do because you're helping so many people. You told me how to do it. And I took a poll on Instagram and YouTube and they told me how to do it. So yes, if you want to get in touch with me, my Instagram is @ToddJBaldwin. My YouTube is just my name, Todd Baldwin. And actually, I'm glad you mentioned this because if anyone uses the coupon code Zuber on my course for the next, I think 48 hours, I'm offering 90% off. Wow. for the code Zuber. But yeah, it's just on Teachable. It's a house hacking course and talks about credit, building real estate, building an empire, cash flow, all that wonderful stuff. And it's very easy to find. Very cool. Thanks, buddy. Thank you.